Hey lightworkers and lurkers, this is Drayana Hathor, and today I want to talk about Spellwork, Backfire, and how they work. Witches and warlocks, or anyone that's dabbling in magic, use a spellwork to first call the spirit in. So they'll summon the spirit via spellwork. They'll choose what spirit they want to use for whatever they want to do, and they'll summon it in via spellwork. And once they summon the spirit and the spirit arrives, they'll tell the spirit exactly what they want done and how they want it done. And they do that precisely with spell work. Each spell has a particular reason or a particular, purpose. So say they want the person to go crazy, they'll find a spell that will explain to the spirit that they want the person to go crazy and exactly how they want it done. It's a means of communication. Now these spells have a history, so they even can go all the way back to ancient times. So these spells have been tried and true. Many people have used them to use on other people. So it's not like they're like something that they just made up. This is like a history of spell work, a long history. The spells are generally handed down generation to generation, all races, all backgrounds. Like these are family spells because a lot of people do them. So they are oftentimes, if it runs in your family, if you're from a family of people that does spell work or witches, then you'll likely be handed down spell work and you'll be taught how to execute it. They can also be taught in cults or covens. So people that might not have witch backgrounds or might not have people in their family that openly does it and it's like open, they'll learn in cults and covens, or they can be found on the dark web. People can go on the dark web and pay for spell work, and it's a very lucrative business and it's very popular. Some people even go as far as getting them off Google. So yeah, you can get it in all kinds of places. Even if you don't have a background, people get them from everywhere, even the dark web. Okay, so once they have the spell, they already, first of all, once they made contact with the spirit and they have the spell and told the spirit exactly what they want done, the spirit then proceeds to go to make contact with the target. So once the spirit makes contact with the target, the secret is the spirit messes with the target's mind. Now the target might not even know what's going on. Oftentimes targets don't. So the spirit, kind of like how you see with tarot, how the tarot reader keeps saying the spirit, and the spirit is talking to the tarot reader. That's like hearing voices in your head. It is hearing voices in your head. So say somebody decides they want to do black magic on you, and they decide, oh, I want to make this person catch an STD or just be promiscuous and, be trying, having sex with everyone. So the spirit will actually come to you and put thoughts in your head and make you feel certain things, because your mind is very powerful. You can think things with your mind. You can hear thoughts. You can feel emotions. Like the mind has so many different switches to turn on all five senses. So that is how they get people. Now, once the spirit makes contact with the target, the spirit will haunt the target. Because say the target decides they want to fight it, the spirit will keep doing it like persistently until the mission is complete. So it's essentially haunting the target, but the target don't know it's being haunted. It just knows that it's just thinking crazy thoughts like, why do I feel the urge to do this? Or, you know what I'm saying? Another example of black magic and spell work is, say somebody wants to do mental magic. That's a very common thing that people do. Very often they'll do mental magic. Black magic is mental magic essentially. But say they want to make the person really go crazy. So the spirit will come in and put all kind of thoughts in that person's head. Like the spirit will just make the person lose it. They can become extremely paranoid, might come across as schizophrenic, be fighting all kind of things, and they'll say, oh, they're fighting demons. No, that's the spirit haunting them. And the spirit will put, it can get really dark, all kind of thoughts in their head, and that can permanently mess someone up. The spirit could even have the mission or be put on a mission to make the person unalive themselves. And people very often have unalived themselves because somebody sent the spirit to them on that mission. Another example of love spells, they are very common. So the spirit will come in and put all kind of feelings of love in the person's mind. You know, the mind, all five senses. So the spirit will have them thinking about the person all the time, you know, to make them try to make them feel like they're in love. So, and a very common way to tell a spirit what they want, people always talk about menstrual cycles and spaghetti and all kind of crap. Yeah. Y'all know the drill with the love spells, but sometimes they don't even do that. They don't have to do that. They'll just have a spirit come in and put it in the person's mind, like harass the person about this person. The person like, why do I keep thinking about this person? I don't even like them. I don't even want them no more. Why I keep thinking about this person? That's the spirit. Why do I feel this way? In your mind, you like, hold up, you're fighting it. I don't want them, but I feel like I want them. You know, it's like a mental battle. That's the spirit in your ear, in your mind, you know, trying to make you bend to their will. Now, all spell work, I don't care if they say it's light, it's dark, anywhere in between, involves spirits. All spell work is manipulation. Okay. All spirits, they're not good. None of them are good. They all have bad intentions, and the people utilizing them to manipulate, whether it be people or situations or even the energy, like spell work, whether they try to say it's light, dark, or anywhere in between, is manipulation, period. Not letting the natural flow of things happen. It's manipulation. I don't care what somebody tells you, whether they say they're a light witch or a dark witch or whatever. If they're doing any kind of spell work, they're working with spirits. And if somebody claims to be anything spiritual, ask them, do you work with spirits? If they work with spirits, they are a witch. They're into spell work, period. Now, some spirits are not vicious. They might be just sneaky, conniving, you know, with bad intentions, but they might not be vicious. But there are other spirits that can get real vicious. Like it's some real vicious ones. Just like living on, living on this planet. Like you have people that are good people. You got people that are horrible people. You got people somewhere in between. The only difference with spirits is that they are not in vessels. But I look at them no different than what you would look at anybody walking down the street. I don't care what kind of name people try to put on them, angel, orishas, whatever. Look at them no differently than you would look at a stranger on the street. Now, spell work does not work on people of the light. It only works on karmics. And when I say people of the light versus karmics, it's like good people versus bad or sneaky or conniving. You know what I'm saying? People with good hearts and good intentions, spell work won't work on because they're protected. When the spirit approaches you, like say somebody, if you're of the light and somebody tries to do spell work on you and the spirit approaches you, they can see your light. Now, once they see your light and they see that they went on a dummy mission and that they cannot touch you, that's when the spirit gets pissed off. And most times, that's when backfire comes into play. They'll go back to the witch or whoever summoned them to do the mission, and they'll do exactly what they were supposed to do to you to them. That's what's called backfire. Because the spirit knows, even though they are spirits, they are not exempt from karma. The spirit knows that if they would have done what was told to do to you, they would have got that back tenfold. They would have been miserable. So say they were supposed to make you go crazy, they be the one going crazy times 10. If they try to get you to unalive yourself, they be going through the feeling of being unalive times 10. So that's very serious to them. So that's why most people that have experience with doing spell work will pull cards on you to see if you are of the light before they do spell work on you. So say somebody decides, oh, I want to do black magic on such and such. They go to a professional witch or a high priestess, what they call themselves. They're not, but that's the term they use to describe themselves. They go to them and they'll pull cards. They'll ask the spirits to, if you are of the light, certain spirits, before they decide to send them on a mission. So say they got certain spirits that they go to seek to check. That spirit checks you out. Okay, you're of the light. They won't touch you. Now, if they call in a spirit that's actually like a hitman, let's describe, like, you got one spirit that's like a scout that might come and see if somebody of the light or not. Then you got another spirit that might be a hitman that's real dark and dirty and evil, and they know it. They called a hitman in and they didn't do their due diligence. That hitman spirit is going to come back and going to tear them up. Now, the spiritual warfare that you see people feeling the effects of it, they are karmics. So a lot of spiritual warfare, the actual ones that play out, are karmic versus karmic. So if you hear somebody say that they feel the effects of spiritual warfare in any kind of way of spell work spiritual warfare, if they feel the effects of spell work, they are karmic. And 9 times out of 10, they are throwing it back. It's like a war. There's something going on between them and someone else. Either they both play in spell work, or one of them is just a karmic and they getting hit by another karmic. But either way, both parties are karmic. The only way a person of the light can be affected by spiritual warfare is in direct contact. And spiritual warfare can be any kind of mental, verbal, physical abuse. It can be any kind of thing that can be designed to break your spirit. So it could be executed by your parents, your mate, anyone that's in your physical world. So people of the light, the only way that you could really be affected by spiritual warfare is in the physical, but cannot be affected by spell work at all. That's the only way I've ever been affected by spiritual warfare, is the people that I had around me. So that's why I cleaned up my surroundings. But right now I have nobody around me to do anything. I don't have anybody in my circle to do spiritual warfare on me. It's very, very common for people of the light to be in karmic cycles. I've been in many karmic cycles, but we are always strong enough to handle them. But if you feel like you are in any kind of imminent danger, like your life is on the line, you definitely should listen to your intuition and get up out of there if you can, as soon as possible. But oftentimes we are put in situations that are a lot like tests and karmic cycles that could last a long time. Just use discernment in your situation and listen to your intuition, and you should be able to maneuver through whatever karmic cycles that you're in. They're not designed to harm you or anything like that, but you have to be on point with listening to your intuition, so that you know what kind of moves you need to make to be able to maneuver through and get out of it whenever it's time. Because karmic cycles have a beginning time and an ending time. I've been in karmic cycles like my mother. I was in there for 30 years on and off. I was married for 14 and a half years. That was a karmic cycle. I was never in imminent danger, but it was a cycle that I had to be in. It was destined for me to be in. So just use discernment, because everybody's situation is not the same. There are karmic cycles that I dodged. There are karmic cycles that only last a few months, or not even a few months. I might have talked to a person like, no, they're karmic. It all depends, but most of them you're meant to experience for learning purposes. But just use discernment, because everyone's situation is different. Okay, well, that's it for that topic. That was a nice topic to discuss. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully you did too. So, like, subscribe, and share if you're feeling it. And I'll be back with another topic. This one I felt it was time to talk about, because I've been seeing stuff about a HIV rate going up. And that always screams spiritual warfare to me. I posted about it on my community page on YouTube if you want to check it out. But yeah, that kind of made me want to talk about spell work and backfire. I do what I feel like I'm in the mood to do when I feel like I'm in the mood to do it. I go with the flow of life. So, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.